Hello everyone, welcome to the Good Vibes Delivery family. On this channel we love to talk about love, light, joy, and peace. So of course, my friend, if you are spreading these, you're in the right place. Thank you to all of my good vibers that hit subscribe and have joined the Good Vibe Delivery family. I love you all and I sincerely thank you. So in this video, I am going to be doing something a little different. I'm actually going to be talking about myself. So your girl Esther Joy wanted to make this video because today is her birthday. She is turning 20 today, and I felt like it's about time I make a video to kind of talk about myself and my life. And I thought this would be a great self-reflection exercise as well. So with that being said, I'm just gonna hop right on into this video. So yeah, you already know it's your girl Esther Joy. Today she's turning 20, and it's just lovely because it's 2020 and I love being a 2000s baby. It just makes math so much easier when it comes to birthdays. So let's just hop on in it. I wanted to talk a little bit about my life. So a year ago, I was turning 19, and I never thought I would live past 18, so I know I made a video in my money conspiracy theory talking about how I thought I would never live past 18, and I learned about the law of attraction and I tried it out for myself to see if it worked, and at first I was like, okay, it doesn't work, and then it did, and I was like, okay, that's great, this is really great, and it kind of changed my whole perspective on life, and kind of was like, oh, God's been playing you this whole time. You've been played. With that being said, couldn't be a funner game. Could not be a funner game. Let's see. So, I love talking about love, light, joy, and peace because these high vibrations are a key to survival as the world is changing and the agendas are changing and the collective consciousness is changing. I wanted to be able to just be myself and authentically help people raise their vibration by talking and sharing what I have learned and what I've discovered through my own personal experiences and studies. So as much as I love these high vibrations and as much as I enjoy being in them as much as everyone else, I also understand that not everything is sunshine and rainbows. And for much of my life, though I have always been a pretty bubbly personality and pretty happy, high vibe person, that doesn't mean my life has always been sunshine and rainbows. But I'm thankful nonetheless. It's been amazing. I feel like I want to give some information about myself. I make videos every day about a topic that is related to love, light, joy, or peace, or something that I think would be under those frequencies. And it has really helped me personally, just kind of, when you're coming up with the video ideas, you have to make sure that it's relevant and it's something that people actually want to watch. So that's something I'm still learning, but more importantly, it's something that I find value in, and I'm also benefiting from talking about, because I feel like that will give more value for everyone. I really like teaching people. I've been teaching people since I'll say since I was 12, but I've been teaching myself for pretty much my whole life. I was homeschooled up until high school, and though my mother is an amazing human being and she's an amazing caretaker and she was an amazing teacher, I still had to, teach myself, and I'm thankful that she taught me how to teach and that I can, learn. Growing up, I didn't, being homeschooled, I was kind of a cheeky kid. I was very bubbly, but I was also a big asshole. I was a very wise guy. So I didn't have any friends. So I like talking to people, and I was never scared of strangers as a kid, Didn't really have that whole, I guess, picture people put in your heads about strangers being dangerous. So as a child, I would talk to anyone that was next to me. Didn't matter their age, didn't matter their gender. I just wanted to talk to people. I really like connecting to people, and from a young age, I would like to talk to people and just ask them, like, how's your mom? Like, some random questions that maybe you wouldn't expect a 7-year-old to ask you, but nonetheless, I didn't have a filter. So I remember, like, praying for a friend, and then eventually I met my neighbor, and she was, like, my only friend for most of my, like, middle school years, and that was very nice. After that, though, it kind of fell off, and the only friend I had that I could really relate to was Mr. Buggles. I went through a couple years of just wondering, like, why do I feel so alone? Why do I feel so crappy? And I would feel, like, bad because I felt bad, but I feel worse because other people felt this, and this was trash. And as a kid, I was like, if I could take everyone's pain and feel it so other people couldn't feel it, that would be okay with me. And looking back at it, that's kind of like a crazy thought, but I just didn't want the world to suffer like this. I felt horrible being kind of isolated and depressed and just sad. It was just, that typical edgy middle school depressing years. Puberty, man. Puberty. But, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Minecraft, if it wasn't for all the people I met on Tweetcraft, I don't know if I would still be here. I'ma be honest. Minecraft is a gem. This is Mr. Buggles. I made him because I was really depressed one day, and instead of trying to attempt suicide, I decided to make a friend so I could talk to. I put a little heart in him so he could love me, and I also put fabric sheets in him so he would smell nice when I put him in the wash. Yeah, so he's been with me for like 6 years now, and Mr. Buggles has always been a very good friend. It's definitely when I call him my depression snuggle buddy, because he's always helped me during those times where you just need a little hug. That's why his arms are so long. But yeah, so I feel like, we've all gone through our own darker phases, and that's what makes the light shine brighter. So I really wanted to just help other people with that. I really wanted to help other people just not feel as helpless. I think that we all kind of have, that goal in our own way. But yeah, I've always been obsessed with mental disorders, mental health. Just, I don't know, when I was younger and even in school, like, if I was in a computer, I would just look up, like, some, like, mental health disorder I would feel called to look up. Looking back at it, like, I'd be in, like, my business class, and the teacher would clearly see that I'm looking up, like, schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, and they would just kind of nod their head and allow me to continue probably didn't want to ask too many questions on that. But yeah, I feel like I have a pretty happy personality, and for the most part, I love being happy, and it is true. And I think that some people think it's fake, and that's totally fine, because you might think that how can this person possibly be this happy? And it's not the first time someone has thought I was faking my own emotions. But no, I don't think you need to fake anything, Chief. It just is what it is. Sometimes I'm super happy. Sometimes I'm a little crazy. I'm a little crazy sometimes, but just a little bit. God. But yeah, I am 20 years old. I never thought I would make it this far, I'm gonna be honest with you. Looking back at my life, I didn't have many friends, but when I was 12, I joined the auxiliary of the Air Force, because my sister was in it, and she was the only female at the time, and I didn't want to wash dishes, and I knew if I joined, I wouldn't have to wash dishes on that day, so it really worked out. Ended up being in the auxiliary of the Air Force. It's called Civil Air Patrol, CAP for short, for 6 years. I learned a lot. When I first joined, it was rough. Like, I remember they were just like running around a parking lot, and people were in a car screaming at them with bullhorns to like run on cadence, and it was just like a chaotic kind of atmosphere. I did my time. Hazing was still a thing, unfortunately, towards the beginning of when I joined. And I just kind of went up the ranks. That was probably where I did most of my socializing, and it was in a very structured format. So I didn't go to school, so this was kind of my school, and it was just mini military for people wanting to join the Air Force that weren't old enough yet, pretty much. So it was nice. I learned a lot about, attention to detail, excellence, integrity, respect, volunteer service. Did a lot of volunteering, and really just got more hands-on with things I probably wouldn't have ever done. Got to fly a plane. I'm actually hoping in the future to one day get my private pilot's license. I have a few flight hours logged and already started studying for that test, but that is for another day. I really enjoyed my time in the Civil Air Patrol. It taught me a lot. I was a sergeant, I was a first sergeant, I was a drill sergeant, I was cadet commander, deputy commander, executive officer, medical officer in command. I got to do a lot, and looking at me, I'm not really a scary looking person, so I'm really thankful I got the opportunity to kind of step in the shoes of someone being in command, and having to really use my voice from my diaphragm and speak confidently to command a flight, and command, a group of young teenagers to march on step, which is so much harder than, maybe if you're in band you understand, but it's hard. Anyways, it was beautiful. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I grew a lot. And I also saw a lot of the politics involved with that, and there are always people that just want to be at the top of the chain, so they're always kind of pushing other people down, and unfortunately that's what kind of happened, and that really turned me off, because you have your ranks. You got airman and sergeant, and then tech sergeant, chief master sergeant, then you go to lieutenant. And by the time I reached lieutenant, I was like, cool. The only reason I reached this is because I've been in this for so long, and I should try. I don't know. I feel like I don't like... I like trying in things that I think are going to benefit other people, but like, the only reason I wanted to be a lieutenant is so people could call me ma'am, salute me when they see me walking by, and to say I did it. Also, a lot of people were on my back about that, and I just didn't like it. Okay, I just didn't like it. I like talking to people. I really love helping people, and if I can help them with their life, just enjoy it more, then I'm all for it. But don't put that on me. That should be my choice, always. Yeah. Yeah, this video was pretty long and rambly. I just can't believe, like, I haven't been in Solar Patrol for a couple years now. Mostly because I was like, is this really what I want to do with my life? And also, I was just really stressed. I felt like I couldn't really go to anyone for what was actually going on in my head, because they all had these expectations, and they had these, you know, they wanted me to go to Air Force Academy. They wanted me to just excel. And I felt like even though I was excelling, it wasn't enough, and it would never be enough for all these people that were throwing these expectations on me. And, you know, that's when the fake happy started really creeping in. And it was just like ugh, you can't, I don't even think like fake happy, it's just not real. And it's just damaging. It really is damaging, because what are you hiding under there? If, you know, it gets to the point where you feel like if you show people your weakness, you're letting them down, then that's probably when you need to be real with yourself, and you need to be weak with those people, or you need to be weak with yourself. I went through my high school career joining 20 clubs. I would go to 4 clubs a day, and I just didn't want to go home, because when I was home, you know, the only friend I had was Mr. Buggles, and I would be alone with my thoughts, and it just was depressing, man. It was just depressing. There was a lot going on. Teenage years. Now that I'm adult, I can say that. Yeah, but I felt like there were so many expectations I was putting on myself and other people had, and I just couldn't let them down by being honest with myself about how I actually felt. And I would cover up how I felt by distracting myself, by joining as many clubs as I humanly possibly could participate in, so I could not spend time alone, so I didn't have to think about all of the horrible things going on in my head. And that was pretty much my life. Everyone thought it was cool. Everyone was like kind of jealous that I was like, oh, you know, you're so popular and you're so active and you're so happy, and how do you do it all? And I was like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. And trust me, you don't even know half the story. I remember once I was in the nurse's office, totally wiped out of my memory, but my mom told me that she got a call from the nurse's office where I was saying that I could hear colors, and I was seeing sounds, and just everything was loud and chaotic, and like all of my senses were distorted, and I started crying, and I had a mental breakdown at school. And though that was the only one I ever left school for, pretty much every time I went to the bathroom, which was every other class, I had like scheduled them so they wouldn't realize how many times I would go to the bathroom. And I would just go there and just sit and cry. It was pretty typical teenage, high school drama, you know? Yeah. I remember, you know, when senioritis hit, that depression really hit, bro. It hit different. I consider myself like a decently smart kid, but honestly, I don't like doing things for grades. You can just give me whatever grade you feel is right. I'm not trying to beat anyone in a performance act. And now, all I want to do is spread the good vibes. All I want to do is meditate. All I want to do is hug trees. I mean, I've always liked hugging trees, but now more than ever, I want to get other people to hug trees because it's honestly amazing for you, and just, I think the trees will like it too. And yeah, life has been pretty crazy for me these now 20 years. I don't know what the future holds, but I know that I've made it this far and I feel relatively prepared. I am so thankful that I have an online business where I get to sell amazing courses, where I get to teach people about the amazing things I'm learning with the chakras, with energy bodies in general, with spirituality, and just bettering your life and being happy, like honestly happy with it. I think that we've all gone through some struggles in life, and that really propels us in our life, our soul's mission. And personally, I know that I want to make people happy because I know how much it sucks to just feel helpless and depressed and like there's no way out and you don't know what you're doing. So that is really why I'm so thankful to have this channel. I'm so thankful to you. Honestly, if you're watching this, like, God bless your soul. Have an amazing day. If you like this video, then press that thumbs up so I know so and can continue to just create more videos like this one. Of course, if you have any comments, any questions, any concerns, then put them in the comments down below. I love connecting to you that way. And of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to join the Good Vibes Delivery family. My friend, I hope you have an amazing day. I'm going to enjoy my birthday now and have an amazing life.